Well, it's been 2 days since I completed the much anticipated return to Monkey Island, and I thought I would share my thoughts on the ending. Now, the game was really enjoyable, and the nostalgia I was getting as Melee Island came into view in the title credits was exactly what I was hoping for. I first played the Secret of Monkey Island game as a 10-year-old back in 1991, and it's a game that till this day still remains in my top 10 favourite games of all time list. It's a game that's very close to my heart. So when Ron Gilbert announced that he was getting together the old crew to work on an upcoming Monkey Island game, I was pretty darn excited. And although my initial reaction to the style of graphics was that of disappointment, I actually grew to really like the art style when I started playing through the game. I would have still preferred a Thimbleweed Park style Monkey Island game, because that would have really made the game feel like a Ron Gilbert third Monkey Island. Obviously that's not what the game was, considering the characters and references from Curse and Trials of Monkey Island, but you know what I mean. It would have felt so much like the original Monkey Island games, but I quickly got over it and immersed myself into the world of Monkey Island once again. Now, this is a video all about my thoughts on the ending, so turn off now if you want to avoid spoilers. I didn't like the ending. I was really disappointed with it, for a few reasons. To me, it just felt unimaginative and almost cowardly from the team. I get that people have discussed what the Secret of Monkey Island actually is for 30 years, and with that comes 30 years of expectations. Personally, if I was Ron Gilbert, I probably wouldn't reveal the true secret either. I mean, how do you please everybody if you actually reveal what it is? At best, the most popular reveal would still only please about a fifth of the fans, and that's being generous. I probably don't ever want to know what the secret is, and I don't think most long-term fans of the series do either, if they're being completely honest with themselves. So the fact that we don't find out what the secret is completely fine with me. The way the game ends though is just so disappointing in my opinion. If you enjoyed the ending then great, but I have a problem with it. Firstly, Guybrush opens up the treasure chest which contains the secret, only to find a t-shirt saying something like, "I looked for the secret and all I got was this lousy t-shirt." That was done in the first game, when Guybrush finds the treasure chest as one of his 3 trials, and it was funny in the first game. But to do it again, knowing most people playing through Return to Monkey Island have played or at least watched The Secret of Monkey Island, almost seems like a smack in the face. Did anyone actually laugh at this? To me it was so unimaginative. And of course before all that, Guybrush is about to go to battle with LeChuck in an end of game showdown, only to go through a door which takes him to the back alley in Melee Island. After walking round the corner, he discovers that he's at a theme park ran by Stan the Ship Merchant. This is another idea from a previous Monkey Island game, the second one, which I think Ron Gilbert might admit, although never out loud, that he messed up the ending off. So Guybrush is in a theme park at night, Stan leaves him the keys to lock up, and Elaine waits patiently on him by the side. Turning off the lights around the different stations actually felt quite poignant and definitely gave me some melancholy feelings as Guybrush went through the different stations one by one, darkening parts of the high street of Monkey Island. It felt like it was all ending, not just the game but the entire series. The lights going out was a little sad to see, but I liked it. Elaine is at the archway at the end waiting on Guybrush. I thought when you interacted with her, she seemed to be talking different to him. The way a mother talks to a child, it felt strange. Almost like she was talking to a loved one that was waking up from a coma.
Things just go by in a blur sometimes when you're having fun, don't they?
What I thought was really disappointing was the complete omission of the other characters and their story arc. The game just ended with nothing tied up. It felt like the ending was just made up in the studio there and then. I mean, come on Ron, you had 30 years to think of something better, and all you could do was repeat certain things from the first 2 games and end the game the way you did. Ron Gilbert used to talk about how he had a third Monkey Island planned and that he never got to tell the world the real story of Monkey Island, and for years I believed him. I actually liked the fact that we didn't know the true ending, and probably would never know the true ending to Guybrush Threepwood's story. And when Return to Monkey Island was announced, Ron said that whatever ending he had in mind could no longer be done because it's been 30 years and 3 other Monkey Island games have been released since Monkey Island 2, meaning his true ending wouldn't fit into the Monkey Island lore, I guess. This is fair, I get that, but the truth is, I don't think Ron Gilbert ever had an idea for a third Monkey Island game. He left LucasArts shortly after Monkey Island 2, killing off his chances of making a third. I think the real secret of Monkey Island is that it was all in Guybrush's mind, and that he may have been a child all along, living in his own little world, as we all do. That's what I got out of Return to Monkey Island. The ending to Monkey Island 2 is just that. No voodoo magic by LeChuck turning him and Guybrush into kids, despite the great work of the team that imaginatively got Curse of Monkey Island made. Which brings up the question, why was Return to Monkey Island made in the first place? Ron Gilbert had no story to tell us, no attempt to rectify the disappointing end to his second Monkey Island game. There's no real cliffhanger unless you consider Mire Island to be one. I think Ron Gilbert made Return to Monkey Island to give a big middle finger to fans who have pestered him for the last 30 years on Monkey Island. He messed up the ending to the second game, fans gave him a hard time, and he done this to us. I'm not mad. I kind of understand, but damn, it could have been the closure we all wanted. Imagine if Guybrush at the end of the game had the secret in its gold chest and just decided to throw it in the lava, turn to the screen and give a speech about how the secret was all about the journey and the friends made. Cheesy, I know, but I'd have loved that. As I said earlier, I don't think fans wanted to know the real secret deep down. There is time to rectify things. Ron could make another Monkey Island and give us all the sentimental stuff long-term fans like myself want. But part of me thinks he's maybe taking a real sense of satisfaction from leaving fans without closure. Whatever. All I can say to Ron Gilbert is, thank you so much for Guybrush and the Monkey Island games. It's been such a blast for the last 30 years for me and countless others. And congrats on Return to Monkey Island. A fun game that gave me many moments of nostalgic joy, but ultimately, I and others know what you were doing with the ending. Maybe it was born out of bitterness or stubbornness, but we know it was a middle-fingered salute to us all. We know.